Metabolic flexibility refers to the ability of an organism, typically a human or an animal, to adapt its metabolism in response to changes in nutrient availability and energy demands. In simpler terms, it is the capacity of the body to efficiently switch between different fuel sources, mainly glucose and fatty acids, and adjust its energy utilization based on the available resources and physiological needs. A metabolically flexible individual can smoothly transition between using carbohydrates, glucose, as the primary energy source when they are readily available, and relying on fats, fatty acids, when glucose levels are low or during periods of fasting or increased physical activity. Some key aspects of metabolic flexibility include substrate utilization, the ability to utilize different fuel sources, such as glucose, glycogen, and fatty acids, depending on the body's immediate needs and fuel availability. Insulin sensitivity. An important factor in metabolic flexibility is the body's response to insulin. Insulin sensitivity allows cells to efficiently take up glucose from the bloodstream, promoting glucose utilization and storage when needed. Mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are the cellular organelles responsible for energy production. Efficient mitochondrial function is essential for the effective utilization of both glucose and fatty acids. Adaptability to nutrient availability. Metabolically flexible individuals can adapt to changes in nutrient availability, such as transitioning from a fed state to a fasted state without significant disruptions to energy balance. Exercise adaptation. During exercise, metabolic flexibility enables the body to switch between energy sources to meet the increased energy demands of physical activity. Health benefits. Metabolic flexibility is associated with improved metabolic health, better blood sugar control, and reduced risk of metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes and obesity. Several factors influence metabolic flexibility, including genetics, diet, physical activity levels, sleep patterns, and overall lifestyle. A balanced diet, regular physical activity, and adequate sleep are crucial for maintaining and improving metabolic flexibility. Conversely, metabolic inflexibility can occur when the body becomes less efficient at switching between fuel sources. It is often associated with metabolic disorders like insulin resistance, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. Promoting metabolic flexibility through a healthy lifestyle can help support overall well-being and metabolic health. Here are some additional details about metabolic flexibility. Fuel sources. The two main fuel sources for the human body are glucose, derived from carbohydrates, and fatty acids, from fats. During the fed state, when food is consumed, the body primarily uses glucose for energy. As glucose levels decline, such as during fasting or between meals, the body shifts to using stored fat as a source of energy. Insulin and glucagon. Hormones, such as insulin and glucagon, play a significant role in regulating metabolic flexibility. Insulin, released by the pancreas in response to elevated blood glucose levels, promotes the uptake of glucose by cells and its conversion to glycogen or fat for storage. Glucagon, on the other hand, is released in response to low blood glucose levels and stimulates the breakdown of glycogen and the release of glucose into the bloodstream. Ketones. During periods of low carbohydrate availability, the liver produces ketones from fatty acids. Ketones can be used as an alternative fuel source, particularly by the brain and certain other tissues, reducing the body's reliance on glucose. Exercise and training. Regular physical activity and exercise can enhance metabolic flexibility. Exercise increases the body's ability to utilize fat as a fuel source during low-intensity activities, preserving glucose for higher-intensity efforts. Nutritional ketosis. A state of nutritional ketosis occurs when the body relies predominantly on fat and ketones for fuel instead of glucose. This state is typically achieved through a low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet, like the ketogenic diet. Nutritional ketosis is an example of extreme metabolic flexibility, where the body adapts to functioning with limited glucose availability. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a dietary pattern that involves alternating periods of eating and fasting. It can promote metabolic flexibility by forcing the body to switch between using glucose during the fed state and fats during fasting periods. Metabolic diseases. Metabolic inflexibility, characterized by impaired ability to switch between fuel sources, is commonly observed in individuals with insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. These conditions are associated with an impaired response to insulin and reduced fat oxidation, leading to metabolic dysfunction. Factors affecting metabolic flexibility. Various factors influence metabolic flexibility, including age, genetics, hormonal regulation, sleep quality, stress levels, and dietary composition. It is important to note that metabolic flexibility is not an all-or-nothing phenomenon. It exists on a spectrum, and individual variability in metabolic flexibility can occur. The ability to efficiently switch between fuel sources can be influenced and improved through lifestyle choices, making it an essential aspect of overall health and wellness.